This podcast is created and shared in my personal capacity as a private individual. Nothing discussed here should be interpreted as official statements, endorsements, or representations on behalf of my employer or any public entity. All content is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Listeners should not construe any statements made on this podcast as professional, legal, or official government advice. By listening, you acknowledge that the opinions expressed are personal and independent, and you agree not to attribute them to any organization or employer which I am affiliated with. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome, everyone, to Backroom Briefings alongside of my man, Dan Mendoza. I am Shawn Wilson, and this is election week, election month, and we have a fantastic guest along with us today. Yeah, I'm going to do the introduction, Dan. You look like you're chomping at the bit to say something. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying I'm exhausted. This election week always drains the shit out of me, dude.
Well, you don't have an election week, my man. You have an election quarter because for 4 months out of the year, almost 6 months out of the year, you're in election mode, man. So we'll talk about that later. But we'd like to introduce to the show. Thank you for being here. Not only is she a doctor in the community. Not only is she a mother, not only is she an athlete, softball, not only is she a small business owner, but she's also an elected official. She does it all. Want to introduce Livermore Joint Unified School District board member to the show, Dr. Deena Kaplanis. Yes. Did I get it? Kaplanis. Yeah. See, I've known Deena for a while. When she was running for school board the first time, and I was butchering her name, but I think that I've been practicing enough now that I kind of got it right. I know on the last show,
we did mess it up.
Butchered it again, but I've been practicing on the way over here. So welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so I wrote down on the X feed a little bit about you, but I think you're the first doctor we've had on the podcast. So that's pretty good for you there.
I feel honored.
So what are you doing currently? I read that you're on Livermore School Board.
Yes.
So give us an idea of what you're doing currently.
On the school board? Is that the question?
Yeah. Well, yeah. What's your you have an elected position, right?
I have an elected position, yes. So I'm finishing up my second year of being on the board and learning a lot. You know, the first year is definitely a lot of learning, and second year, learning, but you get a little more comfortable learning not only my colleagues, but also just how the politics run in Livermore, and unfortunately in the education realm. We've had a lot happen in Livermore. I don't know how much you guys have been paying attention, but let's see. We had to balance the budget and this crazy budget crisis for education in California. Also navigating superintendent hiring and releasing a superintendent. That's been pretty stressful.
I bet.
Yes.
How many board members do you guys have? 5?
5.
Yeah. Okay.
A good friend, Bueno, happens to sit. Craig Bueno sits on that board.
Yeah, I think he used to be a fire chief in Hayward or something, right?
Yeah, he was union president, fire chief. Yeah, he's been around for a while. Good, probably a good colleague to learn the politics from, because he's a pretty political guy, sharp in that field. But, like I ask everyone, like what encouraged you to run? I know you ran one time. You did really well for never being on the ballot before. And I know we talked a little bit the first time, and the second time you never called me. You said, "Screw it, I don't need this guy." And then you won, so that's a good thing.
Wait,
right?
Back up. You called her to run her campaign?
No, I don't never solicit business. I just gave her free advice the first time.
Yeah,
That's all.
He did help me.
I was going to say you gave him a pass, huh?
She gave me a pass on the second time. That's what always happens. Everyone runs one time, and then they don't do as well as they expect to do. Then they don't ask me for advice the second time because they figure they got it. And I like that, because then I don't have to I don't have to worry about doing it. It's like it's like my little kids, they get up and they just go.
Yeah.
Now it's time to go on your own.
Well, for school board, you could be like, I think you can do a chat GPT campaign consultant now,
No,
probably.
you can't. Don't encourage people to do that, Dan. Shame on you. That's
I don't trust
shameful.
that. I don't trust
No,
that.
that's shameful. No, so what
Because
encouraged you?
everybody's going to be doing the same thing.
Yeah, that's right. See? So what encouraged you? What made you say, hey, I got to get on the school board and make a change here?
Well, the first time is just, obviously coming out of the COVID era and being a mom and, having young children, I felt like that we need to, number one, be heard. And when you have a board that just seems to like already have their mind made up before people are getting their time to have public comment or something, there's a lot of frustration with that. But having actual stake in the game with my young kids, I'm like, we need to make sure that we have good people on this board that have our children's best interest. So that's what really encouraged me to step in the realm the first time. I actually was involved in a business acquisition. And when it wasn't quite going my way, I started getting all these phone calls of people saying, hey, there's an election coming up. You care about the kids. You need to get involved. And I said, well, I'll just try that. So that's what put me in for the first time.
See, that is, I relate to that because similarly, I got into coaching for the same reason. One, I was on the sidelines all the time saying, that's stupid. And then a couple dads are like, why don't you get out there and coach if you're so smart? And then the second one was seeing what was going on the field. I'm like, nah, this isn't right. Like these kids are playing just because their dads are coaching. And the good thing about me and my experience in coaching is that my son never had my last name. So I gave my son my biological father's last name. So his last name was Trampetti. Mine's Wilson. So nobody knew who my son was. So all the time through sports, no one knew until they would see me pick him up, give him a ride home. But they didn't. There was no special treatment. I treated him the same way I treated all the other kids on the football team, baseball team.
You know what? As long as I've known you, I didn't realize he wasn't a Wilson.
No, seriously.
I never paid attention to that.
Dominic Trampetti.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, that's
Can't get more Italian than that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
So yeah, I
amazing.
relate. So I relate to getting involved in a similar capacity. So
well, to that point, usually things progress, and I had a note here. So now that you've been on school board, now that you're getting to know the community, do you see yourself moving on to something else after school board, or you think that's going to be where you stay for a while?
Well, I actually sought some advice about this from other elected officials. One person in particular told me, hey, as long as you have children in the schools, you belong on that school board. But beyond that, if I feel like it helped the community at a higher level, then why would I stop here?
Yeah.
yeah. So you still so you like it,
Who's your
At times, yes.
but it's challenging.
It is challenging. It could change you.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's like you don't think that it's that big of a job until you're shopping at the grocery store and somebody comes up to you and says, hey, I really don't like what you did on this. Have you had that?
No, I haven't had that. It's more like at the playground or a baseball field and someone say, are you Deena? And I'm like, where's this going? Should I say yes or no?
Can somebody stand next to me while I
It
say
depends.
yes?
Why are you asking?
Bring my kid closer.
Yeah. No, I get it. I totally get it. But
Well-
my grandfather had a great expression when I told him I wanted to get into politics. And he said, just remember, the higher you climb, the more your ass is exposed.
Yeah.
So the higher you go, the more people are going to be at the playground, at the game, at the grocery store.
Right.
It's just,
I'll
you
tell-
know, Dan's the first man of Dublin. He's the first man of Bart. He's
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
maybe
crazy.
I'm blessed because my husband goes to the grocery store so much for me that I don't have that issue.
Should mention her
Bless
husband.
that man, because that's the thing I hate more than anything. So
You don't like going to the grocery store?
Oh, I hate it.
I
dude.
love it.
I hate it.
I love it.
It's the worst. Yeah. So who's your current council member in your district where you live?
Our council member?
Yeah. Do you know?
What district do you live in?
District 18?
Oh, so you haven't thought about
it
running
was
for Hayward
Swa-
or
it
for
was-
Livermore City Council?
Oh, City Council.
Yeah, City Council.
City council.
City Council.
Who's your council
okay,
member?
So we go by area.
Right.
And so ours, mine is, he just got on. Oh,
Dunbar?
Dunbar.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stephen Dunbar.
We may have to help you. We may have to help you.
I'm not saying
for
anything. That's
council.
interesting. I was going to talk about her husband.
Yeah.
Why don't you mention to the listeners what restaurant you got you're famous for?
My husband is the owner of Dimitri's Taverna, and my husband is Dimitri.
Yeah.
Good chef, man. Good food. I've known her husband a little longer than her, and man, I tell you, I've gone to the restaurant several times and good stuff.
Yeah.
Real
Well,
good stuff.
We've been there, and I think it's a great place.
Thank
so,
you.
good job to your husband, Dimitri's. Yeah.
Dimitri's.
You got
right.
it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's Well, thank you for coming in and giving us your bio. I want to just roll right into everything because there's a lot to talk about. Sure. I assume I know Shawn has, but I assume you've been watching the election, knowing you were going to come in and we were going to have a conversation about it. I want to first ask you, I have a little note there on the bottom. We talked about when all the numbers were coming in. Why are we waiting till Friday the 5th for the drop after Election Day? Was that something that was presented early? Because I don't think we've ever dealt with that before. Usually we'll get at least a drop by 5 o'clock each day.
Yeah.
Or are they trying to reestablish how they release things? It just seems like a long time because it's stressing the fuck out of me.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine how a candidate would feel, especially if you're close and who knows, the definition of close is only how many ballots are left to be counted, and there's an extreme amount left to be counted. So close is out the window. You could be close right now, then far away, or far away and then close. So who knows? I can't imagine watching it as an actual candidate, because imagine if you
in real time. I saw it.
You saw it,
yeah,
right?
It flipped. Our first place went to like third.
Yeah, we got to figure out some better system. Maybe, and I was thinking of this on the drive here. If there's only 70,000 people that voted in Congressional District 14 when there's 400,000 voters in that district, and there's still 180,000 ballots to be counted, and that's what's hopefully going to be counted and dropped on Friday. Man, I'm going to ask you this because you've experienced this personally. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't you rather just wait until Friday at 5 o'clock and get the whole download at once?
Yes.
As opposed to this, tomorrow I'll know a little bit more, and then the day after I should know a little bit more. Why don't we and then check this out. Every Friday you have your election night party, right?
Yeah.
Have it Friday.
But you said that for years, but that's never going to happen.
But it just makes more sense because then you have a party on Tuesday and everyone's out of there by 10 o'clock and they're like, I still don't know what's going on. What am I celebrating?
Right.
It's weird as a candidate. You almost feel like, is there something more I should be doing?
Right.
It's really strange.
Can I make more phone calls?
You're saying
should I go do something? Yeah.
Well, should I go to the registrar and see if I can help out?
Right.
Well, and we'll start with the congressional CA14 district, which is obviously where my girl Melissa's at.
Right.
And to your point, there's a special election coming up. So no, you can't stop. You have to keep pushing ahead, and we're going to talk about that because the senator just put something out yesterday about that. But so back to the numbers on CA14. So as of the last drop on election night, we had Wahab at 34 and some points. We had Hernandez at 16, and then we had two Republicans behind that with Huang at 15.96 and Maldonado at 14.8. So for us to have to wait until Friday at 5 o'clock is it's nerve-wracking. Even my mother's texting saying, when's the next one coming out? When's the next one coming out? So it's rough. But I wanted to get your take on that race. Obviously you and I have been talking about it for a while, and I'm sure you've got some opinions about it, but what's your thoughts on that?
I found it pretty interesting that the Republicans came out and, split their vote between two candidates. That's a lot of votes that are out there when you really think about it. That's 29%, 20 or 30% of the electorate went and voted Republican. That's a little higher than the registration numbers. That's close to the registration numbers, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens on Friday. It's really hard to prognosticate what's going on because these numbers are they're gonna change. We all know that. Will they stay consistent in terms of trend? I don't know. It's really hard to say, because here's what I would think. I would think that Wahab at 34.3% maybe bumps up to 39. And that's kind of her ceiling based on her socialist democratic policies. That's where she kind of should top out at. And then if you look at the other side, well, Melissa and the Republicans and the other Democrats, particularly Rocky, which you don't have here, those votes should just traditionally go to Hernandez. So if you look at it from a numbers game and you think of it as a ceiling, where's Wahab's ceiling? I think that ceiling is maybe 44, 45, 46% tops, and I don't think it grows. I don't think you can convince a pragmatic Democrat or a nonpartisan person or a Republican to vote for a Democratic Socialist. I don't think you can.
Right.
I don't think there's an argument made where that happens. So the good thing about being on one side versus the other, you lay your cards out. You know who you are. People know who you are. They know how you vote. They've seen you vote. They know what bills you've introduced and supported. They know you. They know that you're on the left of the left. So everyone else has a great shot. And that hopefully in a pragmatic county, which I think Alameda County used to be, kind of not as much as they were, 70%, probably 60% probably looks at that and says, I think that middle of the road, maybe a little left is all right, but left, too far.
Yeah. Well, and I wanted to ask Deena, because you've been in Livermore for 10 years now.
Yes.
And I wrote down here in the notes about we're talking about Dems and Republicans, and those two Republicans, have 20,000 votes between the two of them. And we talked about this last podcast or maybe two podcasts ago. Do you feel that Livermore in general is becoming a little bit more progressive than it was when you moved there 10 years ago? Or do you feel like it's the same community that you had when you were there 10 years ago?
No, it's definitely changing. There's been a shift. I think that there's still a good base of people that are more conservative, but the progressive movement is trickling in.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think we're seeing that. That's what Shawn and I were saying.
I think you have three council members that are very progressive, and you could have had a fourth if Chong would have beaten Barrientos.
Yeah.
So you have three really progressive and potentially a fourth, and who knows if Barrientos runs again, then you could have four of your five folks that are pretty damn progressive.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And when people ask me about where, are we comfortable where we're sitting, traditionally the later ballots trend a little more Democratic than Republican. So that is we're feeling that should still be the case, and so we're hopeful. We'll see what happens.
Right.
It'll be interesting to see what comes out tomorrow.
Right.
And,
tomorrow. Well, let me just say this, just so you Deena kind of understands. Like, I don't care where you at on the political spectrum. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care if you're left, center, left, right, left. Doesn't matter. I respect your decision to be where you're at politically.
Oh, of course.
It's just when you're too far on one side, you don't respect where the other people are at all.
Yeah.
It gets too convoluted. And we talked about that. It's like when you're on one side, you're the right side. You know it all. You know it best, and no one else knows anything. But if you can understand that politics is a personal choice, just like your religion. Whatever you choose to, whatever your God is, more power to you. Yep. But you don't need to come in my house and tell me who my God needs to be. Just like politically, I don't care where you're at. Don't come in my house and tell me where I need to be. Mm-hmm. I respect it, and I wish more people had that thought.
Open-mindedness.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they don't. Either you're on this side or that side, and fuck you if you're not on my side. And it shouldn't be that way.
It shouldn't be that way.
Well, to end on CA14, if you look at Rocky Israni, who threw 1.4 million, I think, at the end of the day, 1.2 million into her race. Mm-hmm. She's down at 11.5% with 7,800 votes. But I wanted to ask the two of you guys, when you look at Steyer for governor, you look at Rocky here locally. When Swalwell was in office, there was that guy that ran against him who always threw a ton of money at his campaign.
Yeah.
When Moni ran, they put a lot of money into Moni. John Marchant still won. So it's interesting when you see this trend. The only one that I saw that put a lot of money into their own campaign, especially within the last year or two, was, and I'm going to mess the name up again, but Sakahara. No, I think it's something. It's like two Ks or something. But
Sakara?
Yeah. He dumped some of his own money in there, and he's trending well. And we'll talk about him next. But what do you guys think about all these people that you really, really have to want to be a politician to go and throw $1.5 million into your race? And I don't know. I guess it's all relative. If you're a billionaire and you spend $3 million, then, no harm, no foul. But it just seems crazy to me. And I said from day one, Steyer wasn't going to win. And look how much money he threw in.
Fundraising is part of what you have to do. You know it.
Absolutely.
But just for the listeners, describe fundraising. I'll try to do it. You can do your own. Give you a chance to think about it. I think fundraising sucks. Because I would hate to ask somebody for money because you can't separate yourself from the ask. And that's what's problematic, right? It's like, hey, I'm going to need $500 for my campaign. I still feel like I'm asking it for Shawn Wilson, right? How do you feel about that?
Actually, having to go through it, I've gotten more comfortable with it because people will be more prone to give if they believe in your why. So if you make your why very clear, people are like, yeah, I could get behind that. And I mean, there's even times when you're just talking to people, they're like, how much do you need? So if you tell them why, and then also has a business mindset too, you tell them what you're going to use it for, then they're more likely to give as well.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good feedback.
Yeah. You think it's easier for females to fundraise than males?
Well, you trying to put me on a Swalwell spot? I'll be very candid. I do feel that as a woman who is attractive, you have a better opportunity for a lot of options, like for funding, right? I mean, look at Nadia Lockyer.
What if you're an attractive male? Is it easier than
I think so.
Non-attractive?
I think if you're an attractive male, if you're a physical specimen on either side of the gender, people are going to be more believable or want to be more believing in you. Yeah. Like, I mean, I just think it's how it goes. You can't take away who you are. But look,
like
hey, by the way, it's so easy to tee this guy up. He takes the bait and runs. I don't even have to ask him twice.
Nadia Lockyer was a very good-looking woman, and she got a ton of votes because of it. And what did they do? Put her picture on everything. Yeah. I told you, put your picture on everything you do. Yeah. Why not? Like, people, it's hard to say no to someone that people find attractive. It's a fact of life.
Yeah, yeah. Well.
Like, I can't say no to Dan because he's attractive.
It's when I talk soft and deep.
Yeah, it really gets me going, man. Dan, watch it there.
All right. So, anyhow, I'm hopeful. I'm staying positive, but I wish that who's our new registrar? Because Dupuy isn't there anymore, right?
No, it's not Dupuy. I think the interim registrar is Cynthia Cornejo.
And they get to decide then, obviously.
Hayward folk, by the way.
But she gets to decide when she releases these things. It's not she gets to do her thing.
I don't feel comfortable saying that. I don't know. I don't know if there's some California statute that you have to report something on election night. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to find out the answer to that.
There you go. Ask ChatGPT and let us know.
All right, moving on to Senate 10, which is, see, if you look at what I wrote there.
Sakakahara.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, sorry.
But the interesting one there was Price. We didn't talk about Price at all. I didn't even realize that she was going to be in play there.
I didn't know. We didn't mention her.
I thought that was an interesting. I'm gonna bring her up here, but yeah. So I think I wrote here. This was the drop before, but I think the second one she had 27.7 and he had 27.2.
That's close.
By the time it reposted in the evening, he was up to 31, 36, and 27.9.
All right.
I think maybe that because isn't some of that in the Santa Clara area?
Some of it is.
So that the numbers I put down here is Santa Clara. So she is ahead when you add the two together.
Wow.
But Ann Kempner and then Carmen Montano, who was the mayor in Milpitas, they're low. They're low down on the totem pole. So it's going to be an interesting little piece there.
Yep.
And I don't even think anyone even knows who Linda Price is.
Well, they're going to find out.
Yeah. So do you watch some of these races or not so much? Yeah.
I do. When you put this one here, I was like, oh, Price, is it the same price?
Oh, Pamela, the D.
Yeah.
No.
I was like, is she running for two things?
No.
It wouldn't be surprising if she did.
Well, she'll run for something new. Yeah. So that was an interesting race. That one, I would say that is the one that surprised me. I wrote down there, are there any races or ballot measures that surprised the two of you? That was the one that surprised me the most, to be honest.
Yeah, that surprised me too.
Yeah.
I just didn't have time to respond.
Yeah.
Since the quick agenda yesterday.
So on to the other Price, the Pamela Price for Price. DA.
I called that, by the way.
I think everybody called that one.
Oh, I said she'd win with 50% plus one.
Yeah. But did you say 60%?
I just kept it sweet at 50% plus one because that's all you need in the primary to be successful. So I was right. And there were people that were calling me, and like I know more than anybody. Hey, you think Ursula's going to be okay? Yeah. Have you met her? Have you talked to her? She's fantastic.
Yeah, I think she's been out. Did you see her at any events in Livermore? The DA. No,
I haven't had a chance to go to them.
Yeah. Well, I know she spent a lot of time in the Tri-Valley. I saw her a lot in the Tri-Valley. Yeah. And But I equally saw her. We had there was a Latin event in Oakland, Berkeley, Piedmont area there, and she showed up to that. Why are you smiling?
No, we'll get to that. Normally Dan is really good, but he's been making some errors lately in his agendas. But I'll get to it in a second.
Oh, you see something?
Oh, I skipped ahead because we could talk about Ursula. We've had her on the show. She's fantastic.
Okay,
she's going to win.
Let's go to the next one.
This is the one that surprised me. This one really surprised me. I thought
Superior Court?
Yeah, I thought Michael Johnson would take a substantial lead out the gate. But you're right. According to your words, Dan, it's closer than expected. It's a little more closure than I thought too, Dan. Sorry, man.
I'm going to share something with you, Deena.
Okay.
And all you listeners, listen up right now.
Oh.
When Shawn showed up, right, he hadn't seen the email about the softball trivia we're going to be doing, right?
Yes.
Oh, I'm about to get trounced.
He hadn't read the agenda yet. And he's going to bust my chops about one misspelled word. And by the way,
last time you had two sections that were the same. Two whole sections. The same. One was up here and one was down here.
Oh.
I work, Deena.
He wants to see if you're paying attention.
I'm always paying attention. It just takes me a while to get there. That's all.
So I'll ask you guys then because, and you know Michael pretty well. I just have gotten to know him over the last, 6 months. But he's ran before.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I did expect him to be a lot higher in the ratings as well. Do you have any insight on that? Is it just...
No, I think he's the other gentleman that called me the first time he ran and then never wanted to reach out to me the second time. Kind of like you. But no, seriously.
Not me.
No, I'm really surprised, actually, because he had every mayor almost in Alameda County. He had, fantastic endorsements. So I'm really surprised. The only one he didn't have was SEIU. So I was shocked. I thought he'd be 65 at least. I don't know what this Bonner did, but Bonner, I don't know. So I don't know what he did campaign-wise.
I saw a lot of his signs in Livermore. I saw a lot of signs in Pleasanton. I saw
Bonner.
No,
Johnson. Michael Johnson. I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he had a lot of signs. He had
visible.
I mean, they weren't huge signs, but he had some decent signs on 680. So he's obviously been making connections because you can't put signs on property off of 680 and 580 unless you have connections to get on that property, right?
Yeah, I was just, that's the one that surprised me the most. Even the price thing, because the Senate district, you know what happens, and particularly half of it is in another county that I know very nothing about. So I do know that I was surprised on election night. That's the one that surprised me. But then again, a lot of votes out there, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So,
and then the only other one I really wanted to touch on was the Elisa Marquez supervisor one.
That was going to be a boat race from the beginning.
Yeah, early on, I think when they saw, Liz Ames from BART and her name on there, obviously we have Latifah Simon from BART who went to Congress. Melissa's at BART right now going for Congress. So I guess maybe people expected something more out of Liz Ames, but I joked around last podcast. I don't even think she had a website. So,
that's bad.
Yeah. So, I mean, I assume you had did you have a website when you ran for school board?
Yes.
Yeah. See, so there you go.
Let me ask you this. Do you find yourself now that you're one of the members of a small group of elected officials, do you find yourself more politically looking at things, or do you just say, I could care less?
No, I do. I engage in how they run campaigns. And
you critique the mail like this mail's great or this mail's
no, I do.
horrible.
I never thought I would.
Right?
Usually
See?
it's trash, but I'm like, oh.
They call that political geekiness.
Yeah.
We have a
stack of them at the house. We keep them and look at them, and but there weren't any good mailers out this cycle. To be honest with you, I mean they were decent, but they were the normal mailers. I think I don't want to.
Well, look at the two consultants critiquing campaign literature. Thanks, guys. Didn't know you guys got promoted or demoted. Actually,
see, Shawn's upset that I didn't ask him. What did you think?
I'm a little hurt.
Okay, sorry. Hold on a second, Deena. Excuse me, Shawn. What did you think of the mailers this last primary cycle? What did you think?
Dan, before we get closure to that, I was going to say that I didn't think there was that many good pieces of mail this time.
All right.
None of which struck me as very entertaining, or, you get that one piece that you read and you're like, oh, that's a good idea. I'm going to steal that. Didn't get any of those this election cycle.
So what you're saying is the freshman consultants were right?
Good job. You get an A for effort.
Thanks.
Okay. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. I'm here to help.
All right. So I also, I think I wrote here and we already went through it. So we've got, depending on when you're listening to the podcast, we've got another drop of numbers on Friday, June 5th. And then we've got another one on Monday, June 8th. And then we go all the way to June 12th before we get the last drop. I don't even know if you need that long. I mean, I would think you can count them all before June 12th, because then you're going to turn around and start counting the special election ballots. I'm thinking, right? When's that? When are those ballots due in?
I don't even know. When are they mailed out? June 15th? June 14th?
No. The special election ballots are already out.
They're already out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
you got yours,
confusing
right?
is that?
It was confusing because you get one ballot and you're like, here comes another one.
You're like, I already voted. See ya.
Yeah. I think that was not good.
Well, we talked about.
Hey, thank Governor Gavin Newsom for that.
Oh,
That was a Gavin Newsom call.
Yeah.
I know.
And so I'll end on, because we're on special elections, so I'll end on this. I don't even know how well, I'm assuming you're supporting Melissa Hernandez.
I am.
Okay. Well, the newest dynamic that came out yesterday I saw online was, after all the craziness about how Senator Wahab wanted to let the voters vote for who's going to cover the interim seat for Swalwell. Now that she got her first day numbers at 34%. Now she says that the voters have spoken.
Oh.
And the rest of the candidates should step aside and let her
Oh.
fill the interim seat.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Which is exactly what I've been trying to say, that it drives me nuts when you pick and choose what works for you, right?
Exactly.
It's like, if you want the voters to vote, then let the voters vote.
Yeah.
Like, all right, fine. You got it. You wanted the voters to vote. Let them vote. Now that you got your 34% the first night out, now you're saying, oh, well, they have spoke. Well, no, because there's a ballot that's out there. So let them, you wanted it. Let them freaking fill out both ballots now.
There was a plan in place. The way I understood it is all the candidates that were on the June primary were going to not be on the special election ballot, and they were going to let one individual be the successor and the takeover for the time being, for the interim time, right?
A placeholder.
A placeholder.
Yeah.
And then at the last minute, one member said, nah, I don't like that. I'm going to run. And then they all ran. Because if one's going to get in, y'all got to get in, right?
Right.
So there was a plan in place, and one particular candidate did not want the plan. And then now you have a confusing ass system where you're voting twice within 2 weeks, and it's absolutely absurd. But what is more absurd is, I'm actually going to say something I never thought I would say in a million years. Maybe ranked choice voting is not that bad.
Get out of here.
Because if you have ranked choice voting in this election, things might be different, right? How many of the other Republicans would have voted their second choice for someone like Wahab, right?
Yeah, well,
think about it. The numbers would be definitely different. But okay, I can't go. I can't go
I'm
with ranked
anti-ranked choice.
So am I.
Yeah. I guess my point is, listen, just let everybody vote. If she thinks that she knocked it out of the park with her 34%, then more than likely for the special, she'll get high numbers again, and then then it is what it is.
It's what it is.
I mean, I hate that. Like, just pick and choose.
I agree.
That's my program note for today.
Hey, do you have anyone on your school board or do you have any person, you don't have to say name, that goes to every school board meeting and you're like, oh man, again?
Like a resident that comes in and just says,
I think every school district has that
Yeah.
person.
We-
We definitely
I
have
get
someone.
it. We have
says,
that too.
Deena, can you please take Curious George books out of the school?
Yeah.
You don't have a resident that comes into every meeting?
Oh, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. They hold you accountable. That's
I
their
wonder
job.
if it's the same guy. There's a guy that always goes and goes to the, I don't say always, but fairly regularly goes to mess with John Marchant.
Yeah. Hey,
Really?
Johnny.
Hey, Johnny.
What?
Yeah,
Really?
this
you're
guy
paying
gives
attention to
them-
this.
This
Oh.
guy gives them a lot of crap.
Wow.
All right. Well, once you decide if you're gonna run for city council, you need to start listening to those
Yes.
meetings, and you'll see Johnny Johnny's not Johnny, but Johnny's guy. I don't even know what the guy's name is, to be honest.
forget.
Do we know his name?
No, supposedly
he's
had
been on YouTube.
Yeah, he had a run-in with law enforcement. I don't know the guy's background, but it's not a very flavorful background. But
well, it takes a
all right.
special
Well,
person.
this next topic will be near and dear to you both because you know, being from Livermore, having the wineries, Livermore's surrounded by unincorporated Alameda County pretty much, and you guys probably have a lot of students from unincorporated Alameda County, and so I wanted to touch on Measure D because something happened recently with Measure D. If you can update us on where we're at with that. Something just came out. There was a meeting or something. So
I'll give you a quick update, but can you insert right now the disclaimer for the show, because
it'll be at the beginning.
I have my own personal opinion about Measure D, which is not reflected by where I work or who I work for. Let me just be very plain and simple. Measure D was passed in 2000 by 58% of the vote. Okay. It's been in existence for 26 years. And just like a city would look at their general plan update, the county decided to perhaps do a poll and ask people, what do you think about Measure D in 2026? Has it preserved agriculture in Alameda County? Has it reduced congestion over the Altamont, which is one of their mailers that they have? Let's reduce congestion. Has it done that? Right? Has the wineries expanded? Has there been commercial component to our wineries, which would be implemented in most wine regions to encourage agritourism? Have all those things happened? Ask the voters. Been 26 years, let's ask them. Well, no. A lot of opposition to asking just the plain, simple question. And it's got so politically convoluted. Someone wrote, who has a following of some sorts, not sure the number, weakening Measure D. No, we're not weakening anything. We're asking voters 26 years later what you feel about Measure D. And maybe people like Measure D. Maybe they love it. I know that if I lived in the east unincorporated area of Alameda County, if I lived in Sonoma, if I lived in Castro Valley, I would not want people telling me what I can or cannot do on my property. I think Measure D is actually, if you look at the value of what people can tell you to do on your land, is almost unconstitutional. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised it hasn't been legally challenged. If I'm a landowner in East County and I'm sitting on 100 acres and you're telling me I can't subdivide because people in Hayward and Berkeley and Oakland are telling me no, who can rationally argue that makes land use sense? That somebody in Fremont can tell me in unincorporated East Livermore how I'm going to live my life and what I'm going to do on my property. To me, it's absurd in just the existence of it from a legal perspective, from a political representation perspective, and from a land use perspective. But yet, all these special interests that are not really special, they're very special because they're the Sierra Club. They're the Friends of Livermore. They're the special of the special. The Livermore Valley Wine Growers Association, they're considered a special interest group. Oh, they're bad. They're bad because they want to look at Measure D, right? Yeah. Landowners that own land for hundreds of years, generation after generation in East County, want to talk to voters about Measure D. Oh, they're a special interest group. They're evil. They're not our special interest group because, again, we're special. We're Mount Diablo. We're special, right? No, it's absurd. It's to look at something that a city would do every 25 years is not outlandish. No one wants to build houses from Greenville to San Joaquin County. They just want to look at the ability of people being able to have their own rights and their own entitlements to their property. And if that means I'm on 100 acres, I should be able to subdivide into 10-acre parcels. So Johnny, my little Sandy, my little Christopher, they can all have little places of land on my 100 acres. Now they can't.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is 26 years ago, I would venture to say that the NIMBY movement was more prevalent than it is now, and with affordable housing being an issue. I mean, you look at what they're doing with ADUs. We didn't have that 26 years ago. So it seems like it would make sense to me that you would revisit it. And if you get the same data you had before, then keep it as is. But you can't just go 25, 50 years without any. I mean, I would assume, with you guys at the school level, you want to look at things on a fairly regular basis. You don't want to make a decision and leave it that way for 25 years.
No, it helps with accountability too.
Yeah. I mean, and the difference is if you want to make a change within 25 years, that's fine. But people are opposing it without even listening to what these folks that are living with this have to say.
Yeah.
Like, you should not be able to dictate what somebody does out there if you live in the city. I know that if you lived in Fremont, you wouldn't want Hayward residents telling you how to live. But again, the difference is if I live in Hayward and that general plan amendment needs to be looked at and reviewed, people from Hayward get to sit on the committee, review their own general plan, update it, and pitch it to the council for approval. This is where you have 85% of the people voting on your land use rights that impose upon 15% of the owners. It's just...
And I think Measure D only affects Livermore, Pleasanton, Fremont has the most area that's affected by Measure D. Is that a good statement?
Livermore impacts the most land area, right? It's everything from Greenville to San Joaquin, Stanislaus, Contra Costa County. Yeah. So Castro Valley is impacted by Measure D. The Canyonlands, Castro Valley Boulevard, back beyond Crow Canyon, that's all impacted by Measure D. And Sunol, there's a tract in Pleasanton, the Raymond tract that's implemented that is within Measure D. I mentioned Sunol, Castro Valley, and there's a sliver of Fremont that's unincorporated back by Mill Creek.
That's affected by Measure D.
It's affected by Measure D. The cities have their own land use.
Yeah. So Livermore, Dublin, every city in California has the requirement to fill RENA numbers, right? So you have to come up with a plan. Does Measure D inhibit the county from meeting their RENA numbers, or that's not even an issue that comes together?
It's an issue that does come together. We can't count any land outside of Measure D within our RENA numbers.
Yeah.
In Castro Valley, we can because we have a little more land use designation. But the Canyonlands of Castro Valley, you can't.
And if so that would be tough. I mean, you guys, as a county, and just asking you from your daytime job, as a county, it's probably hard to meet your housing numbers when there's a big sliver of the land that's within the county that you can't use to fill those housing numbers, right?
Yeah, it makes it challenging, but again, that's not.
I get it. Yeah,
this is not a let's build housing. This is a let's look at something that people have been living with for 25 years, and you can't even get to that point without these people just going crazy about it at the meetings. Like, oh my God, like I'm just asking people what they think.
Yeah, and I'm not saying to build houses there, but there's
I know what you get. It makes it easier if you can.
We need housing for teachers. We need housing for. I mean, there's
farm worker housing. We need senior housing. Yeah. We need disabled housing. We need a ton of housing, and we need a mixture of it. And yeah, it'd be if you had the urban growth boundary line moved a little bit to the canal east of Greenville, you could put some housing there. That's not asking too much. But again, we're pinching it all in San Joaquin. All these developers are doing, and you see it with the creation of Mountain House. They went right over the urban growth boundary line and built a city, basically saying, screw you, Alameda County, we'll build it right here. And you're going to get stuck with all the traffic going over and all the congestion going over and all the air quality going over. Yeah. Right? What sense is that?
Do you know the staff at the restaurant, do you know how many of them live local, or do they come in from far away?
Honestly, I think the majority live local.
Oh, they do?
Because he's a good employer, Dan. He pays well.
Dang. Yeah. I might come work there on the weekends. Do you have a bar? Can I attend bar?
We have a bar.
I know he has a bar.
I was going to say, Dan.
You know, I could do what's the movie where...
Cocktail?
Yeah, who was the actor?
Who was the actor? Tom Cruise?
Tom Cruise.
He can't
I can Tom Cruise the bar.
Hey. I've been on a lot of vacations with Dan, and I've never seen him Tom Cruise a bar. Let's just be for the record. I see him order a lot of drinks from the bar, but I never see him get his ass back there and make one.
All right, so then where for Deena and I, where does the Measure D conversation stand? Are they going to do an update, or we don't know yet?
The vote will be today. They'll be voting on it today at a special meeting. Yep.
Okay. Oh. All right. Well,
so
we'll see. To be updated.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Well, I want to run into sports, but before I run into sports, I want the listeners to know I was pretty impressed that you were a junior Olympic softball player. Did I say that right?
Yes.
And because Lauren's a volleyball player, I saw that you were a pretty high level volleyball player as well.
Yeah, I played in high school, and we made it to state quarterfinals.
Yeah.
And then I walked on my college.
Yeah.
For volleyball.
And so I'm
You must
What?
got some hops.
Well, I was going to say
No.
I'm a short guy, so just based on your height, I'm thinking you're what is it, libero? Is that what you were?
Yeah, they introduced libero position like kind of later in my career, but it was more like just being consistent with like serving and passing.
Okay, so you weren't smacking it over the net.
I wasn't the middle blocker. Or anything.
She's set up. Set up. Right.
Okay. Well, I do want to. We're going to talk about regular sports, but when I knew that you were coming in, and I have a little segment here that we're gonna
This Sunday.
All right, so we've never done this before, but because you're, I just want to.
Good music, Dan.
Yeah, there you go. So Shawn is a big sports person. I think from a female standpoint, you seem like a pretty big sports person. And Shawn's currently coaching young women's softball. And because you were a pre-Olympic or Olympic, I don't want to misstate it, but I have a little trivia contest for the two.
Let's
of
do
you
it,
here.
Dan.
All right. So are you guys ready?
Okay.
You guys haven't had the questions.
No,
Just
I
full
haven't.
disclosure.
I
to
didn't
the
even know we were
listeners.
doing this. I couldn't even cheat.
And
Damn it.
I did text everybody and say that there are no participation awards here. Someone's going home with the. Now I had to look these up because I know nothing about.
Yeah,
soccer.
Dan knows soccer and he knows Indiana.
All right, so listen to the questions very carefully.
Okay, Dan.
All right. So the first question is, how many players are there on a slow pitch field at a time?
10.
How many players are there on the field for fast pitch?
9.
Oh, I think Deena has.
We tied on the first one.
All right. What are the two major colors of the softballs in girls softball?
White and yellow.
Ooh.
Red and yellow, isn't it?
No, she's right. White and yellow.
The seams are red. Our seams
the
are
No,
red.
ball.
the ball. What
Oh, the
color is the
ball.
ball?
But the seams on the ball are red.
Well, I didn't ask you the seams. I said listen to the question carefully.
Well, there's still a color, Dan.
All right, I think Dean is up.
And I don't think
2
it's
to 1.
yellow. I think it's a variation of yellow. It's
yellow.
more of a yellow
It's yellow.
meringue.
Yellow. He hates losing.
No, sorry.
All right, third question is how many umpires are there in the game of slow pitch?
3.
2.
Dean has got you again. Fast pitch has
There's
3.
3, yeah. Man.
Yeah. Riley, you're going to have to console him tonight when he gets home.
Come on, what's the next one?
Okay. All right. When Team USA played for the gold medal in the year 2000, who did they play against?
Ooh,
Puerto Rico.
Australia.
No, you're both wrong. I'll give you-
Japan.
there you go.
Oh,
ding, 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 ding. And the last question, we don't need it because you already kicked your ass.
All right, what's the last question?
But what is
This is a 5-point question, by the way.
what is HP or HBP stand for?
Hit
Hit by pitch.
All right, you guys died on that. All right, not too bad. I think Deena takes that one.
Yeah, I'll give
takes
it to
that
you.
one home. But
All right.
Good job.
that was good stuff. We'll get you a little award, but we'll I'm going to use this little sound segment again when we do sports trivia.
Congratulations, Deena. You are a proud winner of the Backroom Briefing Beach Towel.
Oh yeah, we do. I got your beach towel right there. That's it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's good stuff.
Yeah, good job.
Okay, so sports. I wanted to just really quickly hit on the. We got our NBA Finals group in there, and so first game out, Knicks already won the first game out, which man, I thought for sure.
I thought for sure, too.
But the Knicks are at home,
Yeah.
so the first 2 games are at home for the Knicks. But I'm taking the Spurs in 6. That's my prediction. How about you guys?
Are you a basketball person, Deena?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm a Laker person.
Oh
Wait.
my God!
I'm a Kobe Bryant Laker person.
Oh. Well, he's gone.
I
I'm just
know.
Yeah,
Poor
we
guy.
might- We're
That's
gonna have to. No Warriors at all.
Oh yeah, I like the Warriors.
Yeah.
Your boys probably like the Warriors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, but we're a big. Well, I'm from LA, so I'm a Kobe
Oh,
Bryant
okay. That
fan.
makes sense.
Oh, did you hear about this new deal that Steph Curry made with the Chinese?
It's like a 1.3 billion?
Yeah.
He better move out of state.
For 10 years.
What?
Yeah, he made a
Shoe
like
deal.
a branding.
Oh,
Shoe. Branding.
Yeah, a new type of shoe
But
or
when he
new
was
company,
with,
I think.
Yeah, when he was with Under Armour, I think for 12 years he only got, and don't quote me on the number, but let's say it's $10 million. And yeah, this one supposedly is a $1 billion deal.
Don't you think that he needs to get out of California?
Wow.
Because if they pass that billionaire's tax,
I know.
Yeah. What
guy.
sports do your kids play? You have 2 boys, right?
I do. I have 2 boys.
So you have no problem
baseball.
dealing with us 2 lunatics over here?
No, I'm outnumbered in my house, so it's okay.
Yeah.
It's they do baseball. We try to get them to do golf in the off season. They do jiu-jitsu, soccer,
Yeah, they're busy. So
Yeah.
you guys are what, Fusion in Livermore?
fusion, soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but baseball I think is like their main sport.
Yeah. How old are they? If
9,
you want to share, you don't have to
9
share.
and
anything.
7.
9 and 7. Oh, so they're not even close to driving yet. That was the biggest thing
No.
when the kids were younger, especially when Maddie got old enough. I had 3 going to sports at one time, and you always have to rely on
Friends.
somebody to well, I can't be at 3 places at one time, right?
no, it's
Yeah.
tough. I used to, when I coached baseball, I had my daughter's wrestling tournament on my phone because they would film it. So I'm
right.
watching, coaching, and watching. It's tough. And the more competitive that they get, there are more games. It's like, man, it's hard to manage. But it's funny that you mentioned about how old they were because our 14, my girl's 13, 14U is what I coach. We played a team a couple weeks ago, which gave us our first loss. And they were tall girls, big. I mean, they had some height, all of them. So this one, my little first baseman comes up to me. She goes, "Coach, I think these girls are older than 13 and 14. I said, "Hey, look, after practice, follow them and see who drives home."
But that always happens. I'm sure you see with your kids. Well, especially boys. We had a young boy. What the hell was his name? Anyhow, he grew faster than everyone else. So he was a stud in soccer, football, baseball, but then they eventually catch up.
Yeah.
But at that age, I feel like there's always 1 or 2 kids that jump ahead, and then it, everybody's freaking out like, oh, he's going to be, NBA.
He's going pro.
Right, right.
But then you get into like early high school age group.
How's junior? I dropped out. He don't play anymore.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone catches up. So
Yeah. No, you're right about that. But I'll go back to basketball real quick. I think
Okay.
I think the Knicks are going to take it, man.
Ooh, the Knicks.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I do. I think that team is gelling, man. I think Brunson's good. I think that surge they put on in that fourth quarter, as a defensive unit, you got to figure out how to stop that. You can't let that happen. And I don't know if they have the players to stop that. I just thought that I was impressed by. Well, I bet on them, New York, so I was happy about that. But I still think they win the series.
So you're taking Knicks in what?
6.
6. Any prediction on your part, or
I think Spurs in 7.
there we go.
All right.
High five on that one.
All right, there we go. See,
All right. Okay. So, what about the World Cup? That's coming up. I think the first game's on June 11th. You guys interested in that at all, or not so much?
I got a good story for you, Deena.
For one of the games, we should get together and go hang out at the bar and watch the game.
That's a really good. We should do that, Dan. So here's what this guy does to me. We are in San Francisco enjoying a night of drinks and hanging out and eating and dancing and
So we're with the girls. We're all hanging out.
So there was this late night decision made by Dan that we're going to get up and watch the World Cup, which is on at like 5 in the morning. All right, Dan, we'll meet you at the bar 5 in the morning. We'll watch the World Cup final.
Okay.
Well, Sean's at 5 in the morning at the bar watching World Cup. 5:15, 5:30. I start texting. 6 o'clock. No, Dan. Finally, about 8:30, Dan comes strolling down with Melissa. The game's over, and I am now intoxicated because I had started drinking early. As soon as the bar opened at 6, I'm having some drinks, waiting for Dan. There was 2 empty whiskey sour glasses that I had to drink for Dan because he never showed up.
But I think he was with there were some guys down there too.
Yeah, I think there was some guys, man. We were just shooting the shit and having some drinks, and man, I'm like, I even told one of the guys, dude, I've never been this drunk at 8:30 in the morning in my life. And I've been to Raider tailgates.
I felt bad for at least 60 seconds.
It was so bad. I had to go to breakfast, and my fiance goes, "Yeah, we're gonna stay here again tonight, and you're not driving. I'm not driving. I'm gonna go shopping. You're gonna go sleep it off."
Yeah,
that was great.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dan.
So are your boys interested in the soccer world for the World Cup or no?
Not so much, just because we're like living in the baseball world. So we've been watching college baseball, and I take them to the local. Livermore is actually in the state playoffs.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the games, like you said, they're at like 4, and there's like
it's crazy.
Yeah.
How do you work if you're taking your kids to? I'm not saying you in general, but just people in general. If the games are at 4:00, people got to get off, or people work from 7 to 3:30, and then you jet home as quick as possible.
To juggle it.
Yeah,
You got to have some help.
we
man.
have a semi-pro baseball team in Dublin.
You do,
Leprechauns. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I've never been, but I think they're. What's your boy Guy Houston's like an executive director for them or something like that?
Does some work. So let me ask you this: Los Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
I do like Chavez Ravine, man. It's a cool place to watch a game.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not a.
So why all these SoCal teams?
She's from L.A.
I'm from LA. I grew up going to.
See, at least it's home, man. That's home. I respect that.
So you're Deena from the block.
I'm Deena from the
Dun,
block.
dun, dun,
I think that's gonna. So for future episodes, I'm dubbing you on the sign behind us. Well, I'm getting rid of the LVJUSD.
Yeah, get rid of that.
Deena from
We're
the
doing
block.
Deena from the block.
Dun, 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 dun.
So Eric Dilly will tell you I tend to nickname everyone, but you're gonna be Deena from the block
I
because
like
you're
that.
from SoCal. I like that.
SoCal.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that's good. But I'm an A's fan.
Yeah.
And they're actually doing remarkably well,
They are.
surprisingly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although the who was it? The Yankees kicked their
I
ass.
saw
Well,
that.
they
Over the
lost 2 of
weekend.
3 with the Yankees. They just took 2.
I think the Yankees scored like 13 points
I
in one
saw
inning.
that.
They're not called points, Dan. They're called runs. And yeah, they did. It was a bad.
When you put a
they
one,
scored-
when you put a 1 on the board, that's called a point.
they actually did in one inning put up. I watched that inning, and I'm like, I'm coming home after this inning. This inning ain't even ending. It's
Yeah.
literally like an hour inning, half inning. They scored like 13 runs. There was no outs
Yeah.
when they went up. They put 10 on them. There was no outs. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, it was a bad day. But they're playing good baseball. They just beat Chi-Town last night. So
Yeah. All right.
and they're doing better than the Gigantes for
quick-
those
Yeah.
Giant fans out there.
A quick question. All right. Youth baseball and youth softball. Are you guys believers in if your team is in the second inning and it's 10 runs in for your team, do you believe in telling your kids to choke it back a little? Or if you can score 20 in an inning, score 20 in an inning?
Ooh, Deena, I'll let you go first. Deena.
Well,
So they have these like mercy rules
yeah, they
and
have
stuff.
that. There's some
yeah.
regulation to that,
Yeah.
and then also like depending on the age group, sometimes they only allow you to score like 5 runs an inning or whatever.
And I know it's election season for you, so if you don't want to answer that question, you don't have to. I don't want to answer
I'll
that.
tell you the truth. I'll tell you the truth.
Some parents can be like, damn it.
Damn it,
No,
Deena.
because usually
We're not
there's-
voting for Deena. She wants to slaughter the other team.
Oh no, there's an agreement usually too with coaches. Like, hey, we'll call it after this inning, but let's like let the kids play and still develop and stuff. So, me personally, to tell my own kid like back off, they're young. I still want them to have fun and enjoy. Like, not purposely drop a ball or something. Just
Yeah,
keep
it's
playing.
tough. Yeah,
Keep it fun.
or like in soccer, we used to do. You know, if you're up by 5 or whatever, you know, you got to have 10 touches on the ball or 15 touches on the ball before you score again. Because if not, it's it's going to be 40-0 by
Or
the time
kick
the
with
soccer
your left only, or
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can only score.
But you know what I do is I don't take my foot off the gas because we have, if you get to the 4th inning and you're up by 15, then they call the game.
Right.
So I want to get as many runs in as I possibly can. And then I'll start shifting my players into different positions to give them live practice at positions they may not be well developed in.
Yeah.
But I will if I'm up a shit ton of runs. Like if it's 15-5, or I know that the next inning is not going to matter. I'm gonna 10 run or 15 run rule them. I think it's 10 in the 5th or 15 in the 4th, whatever. But I'll tell my kids to step off.
Yeah.
I'll tell them to step off because you can't leave the base before the pitch is delivered.
Right.
So I'll just have first base, and we got a code. But just step off and take the out and get out of here.
You're so
Right.
nice, dude.
Or have all
What
the
a
kids
great-
like
what a
bat
great coach.
left-handed, something. Yeah. Everybody's
Right.
gonna go up
What a
left-handed.
great coach. All right. Well, I think we can keep going. We got a couple other subjects, but I'm gonna call it here. We've got an episode coming up next week with Gordon Galvin, and we'll do a full breakdown of each one of these races. Gordon's been around for a long time, as some of the listeners know. So I'm curious to see what he thinks.
Yeah.
And any last thoughts on the governor's race? No, not really.
I tell you the truth, Dan, I didn't really pay too much attention to it.
Yeah.
Don't really. Yeah. I know it's between Becerra and Hilton.
Yeah.
I just don't know, you know.
Well, I think you said if it's those two, it's going to be Becerra who wins it, just because we're a Democratic state, right? So.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. I mean, he'll win, but I don't think it'll be a landslide.
Yeah.
I think people are starting to think, where are we going here?
No.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. Well, Deena from the block, I appreciate you coming in. It's thank you. I hope you had a good time on the podcast today.
I did. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. We'll when you decide that you want to run for council, reach out to us, and we need to have you come back on again, and we'll talk about your council race. So
okay.
Yeah.
Well, Dan, I mean, she mentioned that she has to wait for her kids to grow up and get out of school. We're going to be here for like 10 years.
No, maybe after this we talk her into running next year already.
That's something.
Well, if things get bad enough, maybe I do jump in.
See, all right.
Never say never.
Really? I
Never
like
say
it.
never.
All right, Dr. Deena, thank you.
We have
Thank you.
Yeah, so we got a good episode coming up next week. Thanks again, and we'll see everyone in a week from now.
Yeah.
All right. Take it easy.
See ya. Isn't that great music?